Game day's here, I can hear the crowd. Turn on the lights, fans are cranked up and loud. Red or blue, we wear it proud. Yeah, we love our teams in this border town. Chiefs and Royals, Boo Mizzou, Rock Chalk, Jayhawk, KU. Hear that drum pounding in your feet. Yeah, you're marching to the beat of KC.
What is going on, YouTube? What is going on, Kansas City? And what is going on, everybody? And welcome to the beat of KC. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Lucas Murphy. Oh, wait, I have something coming in. Breaking news. The Kansas City Chiefs have announced an absolute massive signing in free agency within minutes of really opening the window for free agents to sign with NFL teams. The Kansas City Chiefs signed Super Bowl MVP Kenneth Walker. The Kansas City Chiefs have made one of the biggest splashes of NFL free agency very early on, announcing they are signing Super Bowl MVP running back Kenneth Walker III to strengthen their offense for the upcoming season. Ladies and gentlemen, this is extremely impactful for many reasons. Walker reportedly agreed to a 3-year deal worth up to $45 million with a $28.7 million guarantee to that $45 million, giving Kansas City the explosive playmaker they've been searching for in the backfield. Ladies and gentlemen, we have gone through multiple years where our running backs have just not been extremely effective, and you have to be able to run the football. You can't throw the football every single time. And we understand Patrick Mahomes is coming off of a serious injury. Whether he's ahead, whether he will be healthy for the season, you still need to be able to effectively run the football. And I think All-Pro Mitchell Schwartz, former Kansas City Chiefs tackle, will be able to explain that here shortly. Now, a championship pedigree joins Kansas City, and I think that's significant as well. He understands what it's like to make a postseason run. He understands what it's like to get to the Super Bowl, and he understands, more importantly, what it's like to truly make an impact in that Super Bowl. Walker is coming off of a historic postseason run with the Seattle Seahawks that culminated in a Super Bowl MVP performance, where he dominated the game with over 160 total yards on 29 touches. Across his 4 seasons in Seattle, Walker established himself as one of the league's most dangerous running backs, compiling over 3,500 rushing yards and 29 touchdowns, along with more than 1,000 receiving yards. That is the key there, ladies and gentlemen. The Kansas City Chiefs like to effectively use their running backs not only to run the football, but to be able to take passes out of the backfield, or maybe have the ability to line up outside, catch a quick pass, and burst out for multiple yards. I think that is what's going to be key. We have the ability now to really kind of run the ball to the outside. We have the ability to run the ball, between the tackles, between the guards, really effectively kind of put a defense on notice and not just anticipate we're going to throw the football every time. Now, I think that's what's significant. I think another thing is his ability to break long runs and create explosive plays. You have to actually account for a Kansas City Chiefs running back. Isaiah Pacheco had his moments. There were times where you would have to account for him. When Kareem Hunt was here initially when he was drafted to the Kansas City Chiefs, we saw what happens when you have an ability to not only run the football effectively, but catch the football out of the backfield effectively. This Chiefs team was extremely competitive on the offensive side. In a market that never sleeps, one name rises above the rest. Lisa Miller from Dan Lynch Real Estate. Trusted by hundreds and recognized across the Midwest. She delivers results when it matters the most. With over 13 years of experience and licenses in both Kansas and Missouri, Lisa isn't just selling houses. She's helping you find a place to call home. Whether you are a first-time home buyer, looking to upsize, or selling your current home, Lisa makes the process smooth and stress-free. As a local expert passionate about building lasting relationships, she ensures her clients feel confident and satisfied every step of the way. Don't wait, your perfect home is just a call away. Contact Lisa today at 913-579-3246 or 913-369-3000 or visit lisamillersellskc.com. Let Lisa Miller at Lynch Real Estate help you start your next exciting chapter. And let her know the beat of KC, Lucas Murphy, sent you her way. Now, I think this is just a huge, huge win for the Kansas City Chiefs, and Mitchell Schwartz really weighs in on that. Former Kansas City Chiefs All-Pro offensive tackle Mitchell Schwartz quickly reacted to the news on X, explaining why Walker could be the perfect fit for the Kansas City offensive system. I think number one, before we get into what he said, we have to remember too, we are bringing back Eric Bieniemy, who is an extremely effective running backs coach. He understands that position through and through, and that is a positive that we're bringing back to the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, do I expect them to be a run-heavy team? Schwartz wrote that the Chiefs don't necessarily need to become a run-heavy team. Instead, they need to back a capable ability to punish defenses for how they defend quarterback Patrick Mahomes. End quote. The Chiefs don't need to commit to the run. They need a home run hitter who can make defenses pay for staying in too high and light boxes. Either the defense opens the run game for explosives, or they get scared and change and open up the pass game. Walker should be a perfect fit. His comments highlight exactly why Kansas City targeted Walker, his ability to turn a small crease into a massive gain. So what does this mean for the Kansas City Chiefs? Adding Walker gives the Chiefs a legitimate game-breaking running back, something the offense has lacked in recent seasons. With defenses often playing too high safety looks to slow down Patrick Mahomes, a dynamic runner like Walker can exploit lighter defensive boxes and punish teams for focusing too heavily on the pass, which the Kansas City Chiefs have been really known for. If Walker performs the way he did during Seattle's Super Bowl run, Kansas City's offense could regain that explosive balance that once again made it nearly impossible to stop. That is key. Now, another thing, we do have to remember, Kenneth Walker has experienced some injuries. He has had to sit out of some games. So do I think this is going to be the only move the Kansas City Chiefs make at that position? No. I think they will add, whether that is through the draft. Maybe there will be another free agent that the Kansas City Chiefs look to add. Maybe they do bring back a guy like Kareem Hunt. We do have to remember we still have, some players that are still returning to this team. So this is a position that they highly upgraded, and they needed to upgrade. And so I think that is something to truly pay attention to. Wait, we got some more breaking news. Holy smokes, ladies and gentlemen. Travis Kelce is back in a Kansas City Chiefs uniform. The Chiefs legend returns for another run. Now, there were rumors out there, and I definitely did not buy into any of those rumors, as most of Kansas City Chiefs people should not have bought into those rumors. The reigning Super Bowl MVP is heading to Arrowhead, and the offense just got a lot more dangerous yet again. Now, a lot of people are going to say, well, Lucas, Travis Kelce's on the back end of his career. He's starting to kind of slow down. Yes, he is definitely doing all that. But Travis Kelce is a very effective tight end for the Kansas City Chiefs, and I don't think I need to go into detail of that. Him and Patrick Mahomes have a connection that most people in the NFL are still trying to understand. Randy Moss recently went on the podcast that Travis Kelce and his brother host, and they talked, and really Randy Moss was wanting to just ask questions about his connection with Patrick Mahomes. How do they effectively just design plays where it's not something that was intended, they just kind of makeshift it and it comes into fruition?
And Pat, as far as the anticipation of he knowing where you're going to be before you even turn your head or get out of your break, that should be studied. And I really mean that. And I'm not saying it just because you're sitting here on this podcast.
Man, that means the most coming from you, big guy. And I'll tell you what, man, sometimes he surprises out of me. I'll turn my head around and maybe break off my route different, or maybe even just run a completely different route than what's called.
Right.
That is just right on cue, right on the money every single time, man. He just knows. That's what happens when you golf together and you play drinking games together, man. You just when you sit down to have a beer with the guy, you start to get in his head.
How did y'all create that chemistry, bro?
I think there is just a natural understanding of backyard football. I remember I went up to Pat one time and was like, all right, man, if they go this coverage, I'm going to run it like this. I'm going to run it like that. Hey, what do you think if I give him a nod here and take an extra tick to get out of my break? He was just like, nah, man, just get open. Just get open. I'll throw it when you get open. He's trusted me to get open. He said, I don't care how you run this route. You just get open and that ball is going to be there on time.
It's something that is absolutely special. That is a special connection. And again, I don't anticipate that they're just going to focus on throwing the football to Travis Kelce. But the biggest thing is you have to account for him when he's on the field. And when you now have a running back like Kenneth Walker III, who has the ability to break off massive runs, that's going to help a guy like Travis Kelce. That's going to really improve his game. We don't expect him to go out there and have 1,000 to 1,100 yards. That's just not where he's at in his career anymore. But we do expect Travis Kelce to be an effective player when he's on the field, and that connection, that cohesion, and more importantly, the leadership that Travis Kelce provides this offense. What is going on, Kansas City? The Beat of KC here. And I want to provide you an opportunity to check out one of the most coolest apparel companies that exist out there. You know, we take pride in what we represent, and that's why the Beat of KC is teaming up with Homage, the brand built on celebrating sports, pop culture, and moments that defy us. Homage isn't just another clothing company. No, they're not. They specialize in ultra-comfortable, premium quality apparel that blends vintage vibes with modern style. We're talking buttery soft tees, ladies and gentlemen, classic graphics, throwback logos, and iconic gear that brings real-life nostalgia back to life. From repping the Kansas City Chiefs to rocking the Kansas City Royals all season long, Homage helps you wear your loyalty loud and most definitely proud. Their designs honor legendary teams, unforgettable eras, and the culture that makes cities like Kansas City so special to you and I. And now through our partnership with the Beat of KC, you got the perfect excuse to upgrade your game day gear. Premium comfort, timeless style, pure KC pride. Make sure you guys scan that QR code if you're interested in any type of apparel related to Kansas City. Remember, Homage and the Beat of KC. Because in Kansas City, we don't just support the culture, we wear it. The reigning Super Bowl MVP again is heading back to Arrowhead, and the offense is going to get dangerous. The Kansas City faithful received massive news as superstar tight end Travis Kelce is expected to return to the Kansas City Chiefs for another season, continuing one of the greatest careers in franchise history. After months of speculation about retirement and free agency, reports indicate that Kelce plans to re-sign with the Kansas City Chiefs and play a 14th NFL season in 2026. Kelce had technically reached free agency, but according to reports, his camp informed interested teams that he intends to stay in Kansas City rather than test the market. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, that could have been just a way for his agency to really kind of, increase the amount he was going to cost for his 1 year. That could have been just a way for them to apply pressure to the Kansas City Chiefs front office to re-sign him, because maybe the numbers just weren't matching up. But there's no way in the world Travis Kelce was going to go play for another team. That just did not seem logical. The Chiefs and Kelce are believed to be working toward a 1-year deal potentially worth up to $15 million, ensuring the future Hall of Famer remains in the red and gold for at least one more season. I think one of the biggest things is he is a franchise icon. And I don't think how the Kansas City Chiefs finished up this last season, which is the reason why we have the number 9 pick in the NFL. I think there's a reason why Travis Kelce wants to return. He doesn't want to go out on a note like that. Since being drafted in Kansas City in the 2013 NFL Draft, Kelce has become one of the most dominant tight ends in NFL history. Over his legendary run with the Chiefs, he's piled up over 1,080 receptions, more than 13,000 receiving yards, and 82 touchdowns, setting multiple franchise records in that process. Kelce's also played a major role in the Chiefs' modern dynasty alongside quarterback Patrick Mahomes and, of course, head coach Andy Reid. The trio helped lead Kansas City to 7 straight AFC championship games, and I think the biggest thing is that we were able to get 3 Super Bowl victories in that time span. Kansas City Chiefs' Travis Kelce remains a key weapon in this Chiefs offense. Last season, he led Kansas City in receiving with 76 catches and 851 yards and 5 touchdowns. That is more along the lines of what you're probably going to get from Travis Kelce. And I think, they're obviously going to address the receiver position because that room has been decimated for the most part. And when you really look at it, I believe somebody put out on X, the Kansas City Chiefs, I believe, have the second lowest salary when it comes to paying their wide receivers. Now, that is because obviously they've drafted guys like Rashee Rice, but majority of the guys, and Xavier Worthy, but majority of the guys that were really associated with this receiver room have moved on. Hollywood Brown is no longer with this team. Tyquan Thornton, who we hope returns, is no longer on this team. Juju Smith-Schuster, no longer on this team. The receiving core needs to be addressed. And so I think that this boosts that a little bit. Now, I think loyalty over the open market, despite the possibility of really any lucrative offers elsewhere, reports indicate Kelce prioritized staying with the organization that drafted him. I mean, it makes sense. His return ensures continuity for Kansas City's offense and provides leadership for the roster looking to make another championship push. And I think that that is very, very possible. They took a setback. They understand what they did wrong. They understand where they went wrong. And I think it's time to really turn around. We hope Patrick Mahomes will be healthy. We hope that he'll be able to play in game 1. We'll just have to see. But no retirement yet for Travis Kelce and no new team. Just one more season of number 87 at Arrowhead. And if history tells us anything when Kelce is on the field with Mahomes, the Chiefs are always a threat to make another deep playoff run. I appreciate y'all checking out this video. Make sure you guys smash that like button. Comment down below. Let me know what you guys think of Kenneth Walker III signing with the Kansas City Chiefs, as well as Travis Kelce, coming back to the Kansas City Chiefs. I appreciate you, and I end every video the exact same way. Have a good day.